Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we have a rare naval request by Ilthid. He says, hunt blue water ships with PT boat torpedoes. Also, this game needs proxy chat. I agree. And tanks and ships need horns. I agree. Today we're going to be taking out one of the fastest PT boats and hunting blue water ships. This video might be a great segue of what I've been wanting to talk about for so long about Naval. We'll see how it goes. I'll probably just talk about it anyways, but there's something wrong with Naval. All right, you got 91,000 players online. I don't think I'll get in a game right here. You got 3 players waiting for battle. Okay. Now, is that fully accurate? I don't know. But something's wrong with Naval. Anyways, we're going to try to do this, and then I might Google Doc you, or maybe a little bit of paint. Thank you for the suggestion, and here we go. All right, we're going to have to just relax behind. You know what? Why don't we just put them out there? How long are these ranges? 8 kilometers. 8 kilometers. I don't think that is 8 kilometers. No, we're looking at 10.76. But like as they get here, right? Maybe it'll be. We're gonna put one here and one here. There we go. I feel like I'm on a canoe right now. Oh, this is a pretty aggressive canoe if you think about it. But like if I'm like in a trout stream, this sounds like a canoe. All right, torpedoes are out. All right, we're going to chill, pop some smoke. Just waiting here. Just waiting here. Holy AIs. Oh my God. All right, we're going to move on this guy real quick. Look how dumb this looks. Okay, ouch. Good direct hit. All right, let's move out of here. Let's pop some smoke. Oh, no, okay, I'm going to go backwards. All right. Yeah, damn all bots. I know, man. I know. All right, we're going to go through the enemy's patrol area. I was so excited for War Thunder Naval. I really was. They're either never going to change or they're going to do a giant overhaul and restart. I'm so frustrated with this mode. It's like it's like the British, it's like the Spanish Armada out here. Like, what am I going to do? I don't even care what I do, honestly. Just AI, just auto turret stuff. Ugh. They're just firing through smoke perfectly. I get it, dude. I get it. I mean, like, I don't even know how to really play this mode. Let's be honest. Well, now that that's behind us, let's talk about what I think and a little bit of what Weeby, well, actually Weeby, I don't know if these are all his ideas. He just, I was literally mouth diarying to him, and he kind of organized my thoughts into one. So thank you so much, Weeby. Now, is this the best way forward? I don't know, but the numbers talk in Naval. Something's wrong. Something needs to change, and this is my-ish idea. This is going to be a spiel of what I think War Thunder Naval should be. This whole list I'll link for you guys to check out. But what we're going to touch on mainly is War Thunder Naval has to remove player-controlled planes. And quite frankly, they have to gut the whole mode. They can't be adding new vehicles. They need to gut the whole mode and make sure the foundation works from World War I-ish to 2-ish. Okay. They need to gut player-controlled planes. Why? Because when you have an airplane that goes 330 kilometers an hour or scale, you have to match that with the ships. If you match that with the ships are not maneuverable. The ships cannot relocate. The ships are not really playable like planes or tanks. The ships are massive. They are very big. However, if we replace player-controlled planes with AI-controlled planes, let's say from a carrier or from an island-captured base that no players control other than direction, instruction, heading, etc., then you're able to start tailoring the ships for entertaining gameplay. No player-controlled aircraft replaced with AI-controlled planes from player-controlled carriers or player-controlled air bases. This allows faster ship movement, improved mobility, stopping and moving, increased traverse speed, and it also allows you to scale maps accordingly for better gameplay. The maps in War Thunder are strange. They don't work. They don't work at all. If you're able to spawn and start firing right away, they don't work. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But kind of think of this as Battle Stations Midway Pacific. The game mode, you're not playing Team Deathmatch. You're not playing Call of Duty Domination Capture 3 Zone. The game is persistent. You can join the game and leave the game, but the game is still going on until the islands, for whatever faction you're playing on, is in your favor and you're able to overwhelm the enemy. Something I forgot to mention in the beginning of this spiel is that this is not affecting the current RB game mode we have. This is a game mode that is arcade or primarily designed for gameplay first, realism second. So the current game mode we have right now in RB or arcade right now can still exist somewhere. But this is a game mode that's going to make the ships unrealistic, the planes unrealistic, the shells ballistics unrealistic, the turret rotations unrealistic, the speed, whatever, unrealistic. But what it will increase is the gameplay that the player can experience. Also, with reducing the timing of player-controlled aircraft, we're also able to increase the ballistics of enemy ships. The aiming in War Thunder is very interesting, and players that are good at it are very good at it, and that's why I don't want to take away the game mode from them. But in this, air quotes, midway game mode, the ballistics are going to be simple. You're going to point at a target. You're either going to, maybe you got to range find a little bit. You shoot where you want to shoot, and the guns will get there within a couple of seconds. 8, 9, 10. The trajectory is going to be lowered. There's not going to be any sky shells or anything like that are going to be in the air for 40 seconds. We have to make the player's input meaningful. Because in Naval now, you can be shooting at a target and not only shoot where you think you should go and nothing happens, but the shells are in the air for 40 seconds. And the AIs just ruin the immersion. And I really shouldn't be talking about immersion with, talking about this dumbed down arcade-ish game mode. But when the AI, you can select small craft, big craft, enemy ship, like what are you doing? You're not even playing the game anymore. You're just piloting or sailing the ship. So to go over, remove planes, remove the AI controlled bits, and with that, we reduce map size, reduce ballistics, increase speed, increase maneuverability to be able to maneuver around the map. Now, speaking about ballistics and stuff, certain ships will be able to see further than other ones. Battleships will be able to see as long as they want. However, aiming that far will be difficult. As they get into battle operating ranges, then it will be simpler and simpler. Maybe heavy cruisers might be able to do that as well. But we need classes. We need fleets in Naval. Because with the addition of AI-controlled airplanes, you're going to need to, light cruisers are going to need to stay near the battleships. Destroyers are going to have to screen for submarines. And heavy cruisers will be engaging heavier ships, light cruisers, battleships, or whatever, shelling an island. But it's not going to be this go off on your own thing. It's going to be a organized fleet kind of assault. Ships are going to be shipping together in teamwork. Maybe this won't work out, but it's worth the shot compared to what Naval is now. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I've been trying to push this video out for a long time, and I don't know what else to do. All right, let's continue. AI-controlled anti-air engages enemy too far away, making player-controlled aircraft ineffective. Remove player-controlled aircraft. What this could mean if there's only AI player-controlled aircraft from carriers or air bases is that the AI gunners will engage, okay? But not until they're on their dive path, not until they're on their attack path. You are more than welcome to try to engage them with your gunners yourself. But until they get closer, the AIs aren't going to do anything. We have to have gameplay before we have anything else. Those dauntless dive bombers, you're going to be able to see them. You can fire at them, but the chances of you hitting them are a lot lower. You can still hit them if you get good, but a lot lower than the AI sniping planes from gosh knows how far. There's no AI anything other than close to your ship. So if a patrol boat sneaks up on you, your AI gunners will engage, but kind of ridiculously close. Because if you're not going to be able to see a patrol boat coming at your ship close, we're not going to reward you with an AI being able to detect them 2 kilometers away. Let me know what you think about that. Render distance. Players can shoot at any range. Maybe heavy cruisers and battleships. The light cruisers need to stick near their battleships. There's going to be a lot of planes up. We're gonna try to have a lot of AI planes from player-controlled carriers. Let's see. Yep, adjust warship and aircraft speeds to maintain balance, improve terrain coverage. Coverage for aircraft. The maps need to be different. I drew one on paint. It's pretty horrible. All right, this is how the game mode's going to kind of look. The islands are like peninsulas, Galapagos, tortoises. These are very important islands that you need to capture. And I don't know what ships can launch LSTs. I don't know if any kind of destroyers can in World War II or they just sail on their own. But we'll figure it out. I mean, honestly, I don't think anything of this video is going to make it into the game, but I need to get this out because it's been on my mind for so long. Here's an important island. This produces, let's say, aircraft carriers, or, maybe there's many, many different kind of islands, but this could be an oil refinery. This could be a metal smelter. I don't know, but the more you capture and hold, the better your forces are. Now, what's the counter of an enemy team steamrolling you? I have no idea. I have no idea yet. There has to be something that a designer can do. Maybe add an ability to call on parachuters or something. I have no idea. But there should be a counter to an enemy team steamrolling you just to give you another island or something to be able to fight back a little bit. All right. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, instead of capturing generic points, capture island shipyards, factories, future gameplay, fire control system overall, standardized aiming reticle for all ships. Remove artificial range guidance. So this is in this arcade mode. Pretty much you see a target, you range find it, you shoot at it, and you don't need to worry about lead because the bullet. You do, but the ballistics are so much faster that you don't really have to worry about lead. It's not like you have to aim way in front of the ship. It's like, all right, well, this guy's going here. I predict he's going to be here. It's mind calculable. You don't need a fire control system, at least in the World War I, World War II kind of game, what I'm talking about. Shell travel time too long. Effective engagement needs to be better tuning. Instead of 20 kilometers, let's say battleships can only shoot 12 kilometers. We need to condense this mode to make gameplay happen. Ships should not be spotted unless within visual range. Induce a proper scouting system. Seaplanes for spotting, destroyers and PT boats for active scouting. That's a cool mechanic for destroyers. Destroyers in War Thunder, I don't know why they exist, but they do nothing but get destroyed once they're up the yard. These guys need to be actively sonaring and scouting. Let's say they can't reveal a ship, but they're able to say, hey, a ship's over here. You guys need to start training your guns, get everything situated so you can engage. In Naval, better explanation needed for why shells don't penetrate. Provide weak spot tips based on weapon caliber. I don't know about you, but if you ever play Naval and you're shooting at something and you're wondering why it's not exploding or whatnot, and the shell goes in there and it just doesn't, it needs to be a lot simpler than that. I don't think anything needs to be one-shotted. At the same time, it could be for a super precise shot, but these ships need to survive on water just for a long enough time so a player can react, retreat. At the same time, if he's in a horrible position, then maybe not. This is also important to me. Class-specific perks. Each ship should have a unique ability that encourages teamwork. So the light cruisers have maybe an anti-air buff. The heavy cruisers might have a repair feature or siege mode to be able to fire quicker. Destroyers can scout, use sonar. Maybe the heavy cruisers can launch LSTs or LST or like landing ships to be able to conquer islands. And that's pretty much it. The whole gameplay now is just, it doesn't work. And they keep adding these beautiful models and none of us really are using them. Pretty much what I'm saying is copy Battle Station Specific or Midway. Don't add player control planes. Scale it down to make the ships move faster. And have the battle move around islands and important strategic points instead of circles in the water. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Because one of my favorite games growing up, Xbox 360, it wasn't perfect, but it was much more revolutionary and engaging than a game in 2025. I just think that War Thunder is so stuck on not copying World of Warships, which they don't have to in this case, and trying to be their own game. When War Thunder Naval Forces released, it was like Whirlwind on the water. That didn't work. We all said to add bigger ships. It doesn't really work. And I think this is the next step. Let me know what you guys think. Comments below. And I hope I made sense today. Peace out.